Well, hello, everybody. It is July 31st, last day of July, and I thought I would record a new podcast in the Be Good series about saying no. Be good, say no. And I'm very glad that you've joined me today for this very important topic. You know, so many people and organizations and um, just people who are trying to motivate you and give you good advice. They use the term being positive, or the sentiment to be positive, where that means in many cases to say yes to things, to be agreeable to things. And while that is good and that is positive, and I get so tired about, like, let's be positive, it's just too much, or it's said too much. But you know what, saying no can also be a positive thing. When you are um, saying that you want to take control of your life, sometimes you need to say no. There are so many things that we don't want to do, and we have a right not to do them. So, but for many of us, this reluctance to say no when we know it's for our own good and it's what we truly feel. This all started from when we were children. We were taught to be polite, to cooperate with people, to make other people happy, and to avoid conflict. Those are all wonderful qualities and things to strive for. But somewhere along the way, many of us, maybe most of us, have started to believe that saying no would make us seem selfish, rude, or uncaring. And about the rude and uncaring part of it, a lot of times it's the way you express, your decline of going somewhere, doing something, not wanting to, partake or even eat something that you just don't want to eat. So, saying no and saying it in a very respectful way, and it's really about self-respect too, is the right thing to do. All right. And, in fact, by learning to say no is really one of the most healthy things you can do. And, what brought me to want to uh, create a podcast for this is that, I'm getting rather frustrated with some people that I know, who can't say no, or they feel they're doing something because they're going to make somebody else happy, and that will make them um, be elevated in their stature, by being the good person, the person who sacrifices, and they're so magnanimous and all this. And it just, it rubs me the wrong way. You're just doing it. You're not saying no to make yourself look good, even though um, later that person complains to me or you know talks in a very gossipy way about the situation that saying yes or agreeing to something caused. If you didn't want to do this thing, or you don't want to have someone participate in something that is means a lot to you, and you want it to go a certain way, then there is no sin in just declining either an invitation, or uh, not even you know broaching the subject of, okay, I'm going to let you be a part of this thing that I really don't want you to be part of, that's important to me. You don't have to. All right. you know if you've ever volunteered for a project, either at your work or a project that somebody else is doing, that they're talking about, that you just want to get brownie points, I guess, for um telling them that, oh, I'll help you if you need my help, I'll be there, let me help you with that. And then they take advantage of you, and you feel like upset about it, you're angry about it, like, wow, they really took advantage of you. But who's to blame? You didn't really want to do it in the first place. So, you're not obligated to tell that person, oh, yeah, or to volunteer for something you don't really feel like doing. Save that energy, save that care and love for when something comes across to be um, something that you really do want to do. And I know that you're hearing background noises, bells and whistles and whatnot, but you know what? That's life. And I'm choosing right now to ignore those things. That's my way of saying no. Because right now I'm recording my podcast. All right. So saying no is about healthy boundaries too. Just think about um, every time you say no to something that you don't really want to do, you feel like something or somebody is going to encroach upon your personal time, you're leaving space for yourself, space for planting something. Let's think of your life as a beautiful garden. When you keep saying yes to everything, all you are planting weeds. These are plants you don't really want in your garden. When you say no, you're saying yes to yourself, and you're saying, okay, I'm going to put roses here. I'm going to put a lemon tree over there. Um, I'm going to grow some tomatoes. And the beautiful garden of your life also means friendships and projects that are dear to you, things that you want to do. Even if that project is, well, you know what? Today I'm going to sort through the shoes that I have. There's many of them that I don't wear, and I'm going to get them ready to um, go to Goodwill. And now you have space in your closet, and maybe you want to buy a new pair of shoes now because you have gone through your closet, you've organized it, and you see, oh, you know what? I need a pair of black flats. That you discover that, like, I really don't have a nice pair of black flats. Now I have room, and I'm giving all these other shoes to charity. I'm going to buy myself that. So saying no to things, and um, being freer to have a life that's unburdened by things that, you regret. Like, I regret volunteering to, you know, build somebody's furniture for them from IKEA because they can't figure it out. And now, you're wasting your afternoon and you're getting frustrated because building that piece of furniture is not easy. All right. So you can say no with kindness, with compassion, without anger, and not even let that person feel slighted or upset. You do not have to, um, you don't have to make excuses for saying no. When someone now asks me if I'd like to attend some kind of event, and I really don't want to, and I will say, "Oh, thank you for asking, but I'm sorry I can't go to that event with you," or um, "I'm I'm busy and I won't be able to go." You don't have to explain anything. Being busy might be, I'm going to be busy sitting on my couch petting my cat that day. You don't even have to say that. If somebody asks you, well, what are you doing that prevents you from going with me to this fabulous event? You say, you can be quite honest about it. Let's say you just don't feel like going. You could say something, well, I have been feeling um, unwell, or I've been feeling a little bit tired and fatigued, and I want to relax. Therefore, I don't want to go. You could say something like that. You don't have to say, well, I'm just not interested in going to that event, which might insult them. You just say, you know what? Um, there are personal reasons. I need to uh, have some time for myself because I need to relax. So I'm not going to go, but thank you for asking. It's very kind. You just, decline like that. I mean, sometimes I'll ask someone if they could do something with me, or if I have I'm a writer and I have plays that I need to have read, and I'm casting them. And most actors are very, very appreciative and will want to um, read in my play, but sometimes they're doing other things. And then they have to, when I ask them, Are you available on this night to play this part and read for me?" And they'll say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I can. I'm doing this. I'm doing that." I'm like, they go into detail. My cat is thrown up and all of this. And it's like, you know what? I don't really need to hear that. Just tell me, I'm sorry, I can't do it, but I would like to be kept in mind for your next play, if that's true. You know, most of them do say, "Oh, I'm sorry to miss this opportunity," and blah, 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 blah. Just because you can't read for me doesn't mean I'm never going to ask you again. If you're right for a part, I'm going to cast you, if you can be in it. So, anyway, so even when somebody is declining me, I just want a simple no, or no thank you. That's all. I don't want to hear your whole life story and what you're going to do minute by minute, instead of going with me to a play or to a movie or just have dinner with me. I don't need to know that. Just say no thank you. Just uh, be polite like that. And a lot of times people will just, say, "Oh, okay, maybe next time." And the thing is, you are now taking the reins and having control over the happiness and peace in your life. It's going to be a much healthier existence. It's going to be um, a life that you feel calm and confident about. And most importantly, by saying no, you're saying yes to you. All right. And that is the best part of it all. So I want to thank you for spending this time with me today. And until the next time, just be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and remember that every thoughtful no creates space for a meaningful yes. All right. Take care. I'll see you next time on Be Good, and know that I love you. Take care.